This is Andrew Wicklund with Project Risk Consultants. We're going to quickly go over the Pertmaster user interface. The first thing you'll notice with the Pertmaster user interface is that the screens are very similar to the layouts that you might see in Microsoft Project or Primavera P6. So if you have any familiarity with scheduling tools, this should seem fairly familiar to you. Up top, the menu bar has all your options, so file, edit, view, etc. As you go through there, notice there's only one menu item that says risk. This was originally a scheduling tool before it was a risk tool. So even though the tool seems a bit intimidating and you see so many icons, really when it boils down to it, the risk portion is just a little bit that sits on top of the scheduling portion. So if you're importing a file from another product, this is actually a fairly easy product to use. Underneath the menu bar, you'll notice you get a lot of shortcut icons. These toolbars can be added or removed, so once again, if you're intimidated by the number of icons, you can easily hide some of these icons so you don't have so many choices and it's not quite as intimidating. Underneath this, you've got two sections here. One is the data columns. Now the data columns in Pertmaster work very similar to Microsoft Project or Microsoft Excel. When you select a column, you can actually copy and paste from that column back and forth to Excel, etc. So it's not like Primavera P6 where you would have to go in and do global edits or what have you. You can actually copy and paste large amounts of data at one time. Anything that you can get to through this column data up top, you can actually come down to the navigation pane at the bottom, and as you select activities, you can get through, and actually any of the columns that you would get above you can see down here below as well. So whether it's the navigation pane or in the columns, you can get to any field in the product. The last part that we'll show in this brief overview is the Gantt chart above. The Gantt chart is interactive in Primavera Risk, so you'll notice as I carry my pointer over some of these areas, you can see that the cursor will change. So when I'm up top above the timeline, I can expand the timeline. I can right click on the graph. I can create links directly from the product. So there's a lot of things I can do directly on the Gantt chart. We'll have other modules dedicated to each one of these sections in depth, but we just wanted to give a brief overview of kind of the layout of the entire tool in general.